To me, it's just hatred towards this young lady. Only thing she's doing, like you said, is out here. She's playing the game of basketball, and she's having fun doing it.
I love her game. A lot like Steph. She reminds me of Steph Curry a lot.
Anybody that does something flagrant to this young lady for what she's brought to the game should be suspended and fined big time for doing that.
Caitlin Clark is rewriting the rules of basketball, and the world is watching. With her bold moves and unstoppable energy, Clark has become a standout sensation, drawing praise from fans, experts, and even some of the biggest names in NBA history. Few WNBA players have ever sparked such buzz, especially from legends who helped shape the game. Her impact is undeniable. Whether it's breaking records or dazzling on the court, Caitlin isn't just playing the game, she's transforming it, and young athletes everywhere are taking notes, but not everyone is cheering her on. As with any rising star, Clark has faced her share of doubters and critics. Some have questioned her success, others have downplayed her influence. That's when two basketball icons stepped in. Michael Jordan and Larry Bird, two of the most respected names in the sport, have decided it's time to speak up. Their support could shift the entire conversation surrounding Clark's journey, and their message, powerful, clear, and long overdue. In many ways, Caitlin's rise echoes that of another legend, Allen Iverson. Much like Iverson reshaped the NBA with his style and swagger, Clark is now paving a new path for the WNBA. Stay tuned. The story of Caitlin Clark is far from over, and it's already one for the history books. Both Allen Iverson and Caitlin Clark lit up the basketball world long before they ever turned pro. Their college careers were packed with highlights, buzz, and sky-high expectations, and neither one backed down from the pressure. Despite not having the size of traditional top prospects, they had something even more powerful: elite skill and undeniable heart. They didn't just meet expectations. They shattered them, changing the way the game is played. Iverson, with his iconic crossover and fearless attitude, became a cultural phenomenon. Kids across the country copied his moves, tried to walk like him, play like him, be like him. His street-inspired style of ball handling had the NBA scrambling to adapt. Today, Caitlin Clark is inspiring that same kind of admiration. Young girls now study her step-backs, her court vision, and her fearless deep shots, hoping to follow in her footsteps. And Iverson has noticed. In a recent interview, the Hall of Famer shared his thoughts on what makes Caitlin such a force. In the game, he praised not only her skills, but her mentality, her drive, her poise, and her ability to rise in big moments. To a legend like Iverson, it's clear Caitlin Clark isn't just playing basketball, she's redefining it.
Man, shoot the blood out of the ball. You know what I mean? I never seen anything like it. You know what I mean? And then just how aggressive she is, and not just scoring the basketball, getting her teammates involved as well. I think she's so great for the game. You know what I mean? It was a pleasure watching her, and I just think down the road, she's going to only get better.
It's no surprise that Allen Iverson knows exactly how to appreciate Caitlin Clark's brilliance, because in many ways, her game mirrors his own. Iverson has been quick to applaud Clark's role as a powerful offensive engine, the kind of player who doesn't just contribute but drives the entire team. That was his specialty during his prime, and he sees that same spark in Caitlin. From day one, both players were handed the keys to their team's offenses. The pressure was immediate, and so was the responsibility to score, a challenge they both embraced with intensity. Iverson points to Clark's aggression and confidence as must-haves for anyone leading from the front. But what truly sets players like Clark apart is more than just scoring. It's vision, creativity, and the ability to make everyone else better. Caitlin may be one of the youngest on her team, but her instincts as a playmaker are already elite. Players like her, and like Iverson before her, are known as floor raisers. Their presence lifts the entire team. Whether it's drawing defenders, creating opportunities, or simply being unselfish with the ball, they change the way the game flows. Iverson once carried a struggling Sixers squad all the way to the NBA. Finals on the back of his individual brilliance. Now, basketball fans everywhere are watching to see just how far Caitlin Clark can take her team as her career unfolds. And according to Iverson, she's only just getting started. Caitlin Clark is clearly just getting started, and the future looks bright. As she continues to grow, there's no question she'll figure out how to lift her team to new heights. The big hope now, that the Indiana Fever can build the right roster around her. Role players who complement her game could be the key to unlocking her path to the biggest stages, just like Allen Iverson once did. Iverson wasn't just a star, he was a showstopper. Fans couldn't get enough of his electrifying highlights and fearless playing style. Caitlin Clark brings that same spark. She's a natural entertainer who knows how to put on a show, making every ticket worth the price. But with the spotlight comes scrutiny. Iverson often found himself battling tough media narratives. Clark, however, seems to have mastered the off-court game early. Her poise in interviews, calm demeanor, and thoughtful responses show a level of media savvy well beyond her years. She's managed to stay above controversy, handling the attention with class. That grace hasn't gone unnoticed. NBA legend and longtime broadcaster Charles Barkley recently praised Clark's media presence. Barkley, who's spent over 20 years as a prominent voice in sports media and lived through plenty of his own headline-making moments as an NBA All-Star, knows how tough it is to strike the right balance. He's impressed by how naturally Clark navigates it all. For athletes, learning to perform on the court while keeping a polished image off it is no easy feat. But Clark is already proving she can manage both, and that's just one more reason she's destined for greatness.
And the thing I love about her, she never says a word. And now, when I watch her, two things I like. She's playing much faster. She was playing too slow the first half of the season.
From the college season.
They didn't even give her the understanding, like, you girls been worded for the WNBA season. Y'all been working out on the no straight. She came straight out of college.
Caitlin Clark is thriving in every part of the game, inside the paint, beyond the arc, and everywhere in between. What sets her apart isn't just her talent, but her relentless work ethic and mindset. With the weight of massive expectations from fans and franchises, she didn't just rise to the occasion, she blew past it. She's taken hard hits, both figuratively and literally, but never backed down. In fact, she's proven she's tougher than many gave her credit for. The most impressive part? She's continued to level up as the season goes on. Adjusting to the WNBA's pace and physicality is no small feat, especially coming from college ball, where the game runs very differently. The WNBA grinds hard on the body, and most fans never see just how demanding it really is. For Clark, the challenge has been even steeper. Defenders have targeted her with extra physicality from the jump, but she hasn't flinched. Her ability to absorb that kind of contact and keep pushing forward comes from serious behind-the-scenes preparation. She's clearly putting in the work physically, not just mentally. It's been a surprising and exciting development for fans who once saw her as pure finesse and skill, but not necessarily as someone built for the grind. Turns out, Caitlin Clark is not just a gifted shooter and playmaker. She's built to last. Dominance in basketball doesn't always look the same. Shaquille O'Neal, often hailed as the most dominant player the sport has ever seen, has made it clear there's no debate in his eyes. But interestingly, his favorite current player isn't someone who shares his towering size or bruising style. It's Steph Curry. That contrast says a lot. Despite their completely different builds and approaches to the game, Shaq sees greatness in Curry, and he sees that same spark in Caitlin Clark. In a recent episode of Unapologetically Angel, the podcast hosted by Angel Reese, Clark's fiercest rival, Shaq, didn't hold back in his praise. He called out Clark's dominance, comparing her impact to Curry's. Neither player relies on raw physicality to control the game, but both have revolutionized how it's played. According to Shaq, what Caitlin and Steph bring is a new kind of spectacle, something fans hadn't seen before they arrived. That kind of originality, that ability to reshape the game with style and vision, is what Shaq believes truly drives a league forward. In his eyes, dominance isn't just about overpowering your opponents, it's about redefining what greatness looks like. And Caitlin Clark, just like Curry, is doing exactly that.
Why do you think people love Caitlin Clark besides her skills?
She can shoot threes from logo.
We never seen that before. That's my point. Steph
Okay.
Curry, a little kid. Like Steph Curry, I love, you know why I love Steph Curry? Because I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before. I've seen it a little bit in Mahmoud Abdul-Roh, but I've never seen a guy consistently come down. And if you look at, like if you saw Steph on the street, he ain't got the LeBron muscles. He's not 6'9", he's 6'10". He look like a perfect, normally office guy.
Yeah.
But he's doing stuff that people never seen before. She's doing stuff we've never seen before. Never seen nobody do that on a consistent basis.
Shaquille O'Neal's recent comments about Caitlin Clark sparked some serious conversation and revealed a few fascinating dynamics along the way. First, Shaq openly acknowledged that Clark is doing things no other WNBA player has done before. Even Angel Reese, her biggest on-court rival, had to admit it. Still, Angel seemed to downplay Clark's impact, summarizing it with, "She can shoot threes from the logo." But here's the thing, that is a big deal. Draining deep threes with consistency isn't just flashy, it's an elite skill that takes years of hard work to perfect. It's exactly the kind of spectacle that draws in crowds, and Shaq knows it. He pointed out that Clark's unique shooting range has helped fill arenas and bring fresh eyes to the WNBA. There may have even been a bit of shade in his words. Angel Reese has previously voiced her belief that Clark isn't the sole reason. Fans are showing up, but Shaq's focus on Caitlyn's game-changing talent may have struck a nerve. After all, Reese doesn't have the same kind of deep shooting arsenal, and that difference is becoming harder to ignore. Shaq isn't alone in recognizing Clark's impact. Basketball icon Michael Jordan recently broke his silence, and he didn't hold back. He credited Caitlyn with elevating the WNBA's visibility and excitement, saying the league owes her a great deal for what she's brought to the game. And Jordan didn't stop there. He called for a full overhaul of WNBA officiating, hinting that the league needs to evolve just as fast as its stars are. Together, these endorsements from two of the sport's greatest voices signal something big. Caitlyn Clark isn't just changing the way the game is played, she's changing the game itself. Michael Jordan didn't mince words. He called out the officiating in the WNBA and made it crystal clear Caitlyn Clark hasn't been getting a fair whistle. His message was simple but powerful. It's time the league steps up and gives Caitlyn the respect she's earned, not just from opponents, but from the officials on the floor. And when the greatest basketball player of all time speaks up, the world listens. Jordan's support sends a strong signal. Caitlyn Clark isn't just another rising star, she's a game changer. Her impact on women's basketball is undeniable. And ignoring that would be a mistake the league can't afford to make. At the heart of this media storm is the fierce rivalry between Clark and Angel Reese, a rivalry that's fueling one of the most exciting eras the WNBA has ever seen. It's a throwback to the NBA's early days when viewership was low and the league struggled to capture attention. That all changed with the arrival of two transformative stars, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. Their legendary showdown in the NCAA championship electrified fans, shattered records, and launched the NBA into mainstream popularity. Fast forward to today, and history seems to be repeating itself. The women's NCAA tournament broke viewership records thanks in large part to the high-stakes drama between Caitlyn and Angel. And now that both have entered the WNBA, the league is seeing a surge. In attention it hasn't experienced in years, the parallels haven't gone unnoticed. Fans and media alike are calling Clark and Reese the Magic and Bird of the WNBA. Even Magic Johnson himself has joined the conversation, and he agrees. He sees the same dynamic, the same spark, and the same potential to reshape an entire sport. In fact, Magic believes Caitlyn Clark has what it takes to become the greatest player the WNBA has ever seen. And with legends like Jordan and Magic backing her, it's becoming harder for anyone to deny. We're witnessing the beginning of something historic.
Caitlyn is the most popular WNBA player, but she's not the best at this time. Just like Larry and I were not the best when we entered the league. We became the best later on by our play. Caitlyn still has to play great to become the best WNBA player.
Magic Johnson has always backed the WNBA, and now he sees it growing fast, thanks in part to the Caitlyn Clark versus Angel Reese rivalry. He compared it to his legendary battles with Larry Bird, saying rivalries like this drive real change. Caitlyn Clark's game is already reshaping the league. Her deep range, high IQ, and playmaking are setting a new standard. Even Chris Paul, the point god, recognized her Rookie of the Year run, comparing it to his own. He sent his congratulations through their shared sponsor, State Farm, one great point guard to another.